don't care where you are. I don't care if you're feeling achy, you didn't take your relief factor, whatever it is. Get up and go vote. Now, 98 million of you, including me, have already voted. Thank you. I think we should set a record today that will stand for a very long time. And most of the people voting today, by admission of both sides, are Trump voters. So I want to see those long line stories. I want you to wait for an hour and a half or 2 hours. But if you go early, that won't be the case. And not just Donald Trump and Mike Pence, but beginning in Maine for Susan Collins and ending up in California for Mike Garcia for Congress, everywhere in between, you got to get out there and vote. Now, I want you to understand, I am neither an optimist nor a pessimist because there's nothing for me to study. There's a lot of polling data, but it was all based on combinations of 2016 and 2018 models, which are irrelevant when you have a record turnout as we are going to have. And by record turnout, I mean off the charts turnout. That's a great thing for democracy, by the way. That shows people have faith in voting. And so I'm not going to tell you what I think is going to happen because I don't know. This isn't a bar exam that I can study for. I can, however, tell you that Team Trump last night sent Nicholas Traynor out. And Nicholas Traynor is the head of their battleground strategy. He had some great quotes. In a lot of places across the country, Election Day is going to look like a Trump rally, said Traynor. That's what it's built for, he said about the GOTV, the Get Out the Vote effort. And he went state by state. State by state. He looked at example of Pennsylvania, for example. So Pennsylvania, the Democrats are going to have a somewhat in the neighborhood of a 750,000 head start, about 750,000 votes ahead, heading into tomorrow. Probably more than that. What we know right now is there are 2.6 million Trump voters likely to show up tomorrow. There are 1.5 remaining million Biden voters. So Pennsylvania in particular is going to look on election night like an election day vote standpoint, like the president wins in an absolute landslide. However, we know that the margin he needs to win by in Pennsylvania, and that math is available to us from turnout perspective. Means they got to get 2.6 million today. They expect 1.5 for Biden, and he's got a 750,000 lead. That leads to a 250,000 victory for the president in Pennsylvania. Traynor went through other states. This is according to Paul Bedard, who was talking to him. In Ohio, Joe Biden wasted time today to go to Ohio. Weeks ago, the partisan makeup of the electorate in Ohio was Democrat plus 10. Today, it's Democrats plus 0.6. Coming into 400,000 net votes for Trump in Ohio. In North Carolina, where the president was this morning, he was talking yesterday on Monday, Democrats jumped out to a partisan advantage of 32 points. Today, it's 5.8 plus D. Coming into Election Day 2016, the partisan advantage was Democrats plus 9.7. Again, President Trump has a projected Election Day net cast margin of over 400,000 votes. They think they catch and pass Biden in North Carolina. In Pennsylvania, I told you in Arizona, Don Jr. is out in Arizona right now. Weeks ago, the makeup of that electorate was D plus 11.9. Right now, it's D plus 1.2. The gap on Election Day was D plus 2.5. President Trump will win Election Day in Arizona by 150,000 votes. That is so key, Desert State. And Martha McSally needs to get your vote every step of the way. They're very confident in Florida. And in Michigan, they've already got a ton of high-propensity voters in Michigan. We have 2 million votes for President Trump left. Trump will need to win Election Day in Michigan by 350,000 votes. And today we project over 400,000 votes for the president. It's same-day registration in Michigan and in Maine. It's same-day registration in Iowa. It's same-day registration in Minnesota and Wisconsin. You can just walk in and vote in those states. In Iowa, Maine, Michigan, Minnesota. Just walk in and vote. Wisconsin. We need every Republican. One of these races, I don't know where it's going to be, is a 5-vote race, a 3-vote race, a 1-vote race. So whether you're voting for Tom Tillis in North Carolina or David Perdue in Georgia or one of the other Republicans, Georgia's got the special, and there are a couple of great Republicans down there, that will go to a runoff. Whether you've got that or whether you've got the most influential and powerful senator in the United States Senate, not named McConnell, is Susan Collins in Maine. She's in line to be head of the Appropriations Committee. My Mainer friends, get up early, go vote for Susan Collins. Why would you trade in the most powerful Senate chair of appropriations, and the most influential senator and the most respected senator for a newcomer who will be buried in the Democratic caucus and not heard from for 30 years? Susan Collins has been there working, and you need to get up and vote for Susan Collins. We may have her join us a little bit later. My friends in Iowa are turning out in droves for Joni Ernst. She's won. In fact, Larry Sabato, who is not a friend of Republicans, switched that race from lean Democrat to lean Republican last night because the numbers are just overwhelming. Joni is surging as the president is surging. And so Senator Ernst will be coming back. Same thing is happening for Martha McSally in Arizona. I don't know if Cory Gardner has enough kick. He's closing. I don't know if he's got enough kick. Steve Daines is winning in Montana. Steve Bullock wants to take away Montanans' guns. That did not work so well. What a surprise. John James and Jason Lewis are the underdogs to watch tonight. John James in Michigan, Jason Lewis in Minnesota. It's going to be a wild night, and don't believe anything until 3 a.m. Don't believe a thing until 3 a.m. because they've got to get these absentees counted. They've got to get the in-person votes tallied. They've got to get the votes in from the rural parts of the state, which are overwhelmingly pro-Trump. It's a real countryside versus the capital election. And it's going to be tight in some places. Like I say, you really can't stay home today. Every single Senate race. Look, Mitch McConnell's running away with it. Lindsey Graham needs your vote. He wants to win decisively to stop this nonsense from happening again. They poured $150 million in to beat Lindsey. If we can beat him by 10 points in South Carolina, that will be great. That will crush their hopes and their dreams in South Carolina for many generations to come. So get out there and vote for Lindsey Graham. John Cornyn in Texas should win going away. I don't believe Texas is close. They've been trying to play that psyops game all week long. Don't believe it. You got to act like Baker Mayfield. Can we hear Baker from a couple weeks ago, cut number 20?
The good thing about it is we don't have to learn from a loss. We can get better after a win. So, just the mindset of trying to be just a bunch of big, hairy American winning machines is important.
Big, hairy American winning machines. That's what we need to be. Men and women have to get out there and vote today. Donald Trump was all over Michigan last night. Here he is, cut number 18 in Grand Rapids.
We made history together 4 years ago, and tomorrow we're going to make history once again.
He went up to Traverse City. It was cold, and the crowd was enormous. Cut 13.
Joe Biden.
No, cut 13.
Joe Biden.
Oh, no. Oh. Stop for a second. Stop. He was playing the reel. I didn't want that. I want cut 12.
Every corrupt force in American life that betrayed you and hurt you is supporting Joe Biden. The failed establishment that started the disastrous foreign wars, they support Biden. The career politicians that offshored your industries and decimated your auto plants, and you suffered for many, many years. I'm telling you, that's why I'm here, I think, primarily. That was the first thing, trade. I said, how could they do that? They supported Biden. The open borders lobbyists that killed our fellow citizens with illegal drugs and gangs and crime that poured into our country, they support Biden. They still do. The anti-American radicals defaming our noble history, heritage, and heroes, they support Biden. They support him. They support Sleepy Joe. And I signed a law that you take down any of our statues, any of our monuments, you go to jail for 10 years.
No, I want to close by telling my friends in Georgia, I have a huge audience in Atlanta. The Wall Street Journal's editorial this morning, Georgia may decide the Senate majority. You've got to get out, Atlantans and Macon and all of my friends in Athens and all of my friends in Columbus. You've got to get out and vote for David Perdue and either Kelly Loeffler and Doug Collins. There are 2 Senate races down there, 3 great Republicans. David Perdue, you've got to go. Turn around, tell the boss you were saving the country. You've got to get out for David Perdue and either Kelly Loeffler or Doug Collins. Get out and vote today. It's up to Georgia to save the Senate. Stay tuned.